know Thomas Edison. He created the first greatest invention of the 20th century, not the light bulb, the tinfoil phonograph. He was born to a middle-class family February 11th, 1847. He died October 18th, 1931. This man did a lot for his country. He helped make what the world is today. He not only brought light to our lives, but he brought entertainment, jobs, history to this world. Edison was prone to distraction and very hyperactive when he was a child. Therefore, his teacher became very impatient with him and kind of gave up on him. His mother pulled him from school with only a few weeks of going to school and taught him at home. He had no actual schooling or college or degree. How could she know that she was teaching a genius in her house, in just a little room, developed with a young mind of a genius? Edison's ancestry gave him vitality. His mother gave him inspiration. Strength came from his father's generation, he believes, of good living and hard working in the open air. His great-grandfather lived to be 102, and his grandfather lived to be 103. Edison worked in countless Dutch millers, farming lands, and this enabled him to work until he had changed the world. As a young boy, Edison's appetite for knowledge and reading wide range of subjects set a goal for him. He set a goal for himself to read every book in the Detroit Free Library. He went in and was reading. A man came and asked him, "How much have you read?" He goes, 15 feet. And in fact, he did read 15 feet of bookshelves. He read from one end of a bookshelf, book after book, to another. The man said that would give him mental indigestion. And he then set him to a more preferable reading section that he liked. Edison was a newsboy at around age 11, 12. He made $8 to $10 a day and never failed to give his mother at least $1 of his earnings, which showed that he wasn't wholly self-centered or greedy or selfish. As a newsboy inspired him to be a journalist, which inspired him to start his own newspaper company. I found all this from a book, Modern Great American. As a young boy, he was determined. He knew what he wanted, went for it, and grew up, had a dream, and made sure he would make it happen. The phonograph, they didn't have in the end it was named the phonograph, but it might have also been called omphograph, which meant voice writer, or there was another name, antiphone. It was found in Edison's logbook in his laboratory that him and his assistants were writing in. It could have been named. There was another one, but it was really hard to say. One July evening, Edison had an idea by working on ways to record telegraph messages on paper strips. Edison suggested connecting a needle on the back of a diaphragm and connecting connecting it into a mouthpiece, causing the needle to move and make scribbles on a strip. If the paper was then pulled again through the diaphragm, or pulled again through the roller, the indentions would produce the original sound. It made produce the original sound if moved and attached from the diaphragm. I found that from Time magazine also. Yeah. They set to work, and in about an hour they had a working contraption. They tried out by reciting "Mary Had a Little Lamb," the poetry saying, into the phonograph. First time that's what they came out with. And that was good enough for Edison. That's all he needed to keep pursuing and working out the kinks for that. He was so sure that it was going to be an office item, office supply, but everybody was saying, "Oh, it's going to be made for entertainment." So that's how musicians they recorded songs on discs, and he was not a fan of that. He did not like that. He thought musicians and music stuff was for nuts, people nuts that were nuts. He didn't like it. Found that in Time magazine. Although his first invention did not make although his first invention was big in history, he has many others that have a huge effect on us today. He invented the light bulb, the car battery, or helped invent the light bulb and car battery, and talking dolls. That's Edison as a boy. He wasn't much older than that when he started the newspaper. That's the original phonograph, tin foil phonograph he used. There would be a cone right there, I believe, and you would turn the handle and speak into the mouthpiece. He helped invent the car battery and talking doll, and the light bulb. Without a doubt, he knew his inventions were going to be big. But imagine life without him or his inventions. We would not only be left in the dark for a longer period of time, or even still, but where would the jobs go? Where would the music go? Where would all the things that we think matter today go? Will we have them